All right, Triple say good morning. Let's begin. We are picking up in Perek Dalet, new Perek today, chapter 4, page Mem Aleph. Right, so Ramchal, the title of the Perek, B'derech K'niyas Hazihirus. B'derech, the way ultimately to acquire the midah of Zihirus, to acquire the attribute of contemplation, of care and concern for the direction in which we are, in the way in which we are living. So remember again, just so you appreciate the style of the Ramchal. So if you notice again in Perek Beis, he introduced us to the midah. What is Zihirus? In Perek Gimel, so the title of that Perek was Chalkei HaZihirus, different aspects ultimately again of this midah of Zihirus, of attentiveness. And now in Perek Dalet, he teaches us ultimately how do you acquire the midah. So the beauty of this sefer is a very systematic approach. Identify the midah, explain the midah, identify the different parts of the midah, and then how do you acquire the particular attributes. Hine, masha maybe as ha'adam al derech klal al hazihirus. So I will say, so we've spoken about the need to be zohir, to live life with a certain level of attentiveness. Again, understand what is the tova amiti, what is the ultimate good, what is the raha amiti, what is not so good, which actions are positive and should be reinforced, which actions are negative. How do I navigate the maze of life? There are many dead ends, like we saw yesterday. Many dead ends that get us nowhere, but often only one path that gets us to the achsadra, gets us to the raised platform of completion in the middle. So says the Ramchal, in general, how does a person become a contemplative, introspective, self-aware person who possesses the midah of Zihirus? Hu limud haTorah. It's through learning. When you learn, and everybody say the truth is, we know this. We know this because the great secret that we all have come to understand is when you learn Torah, you become a different person. And if somebody were to ask you, come on, what does that mean? Tell me, how are you different? The answer would often be, I don't even know. I can't explain to you why I'm different, but I can explain to you that I am different. There's a fundamental cathartic effect that Talmud Torah, that learning has upon the individual. Torah mevia lidei zihirus. This is Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair says, at the beginning of the Brisa, that kind of forms the backbone of this sefer. It is Torah that leads to zihirus. When a person learns, a person is engaged in Torah, that by definition leads them to be a more contemplative, introspective person. Andam al derech prat hamevi lazeh, who is boninos al chomer ha'avodah shechaya ba'adam. The Bible says this is a very profound statement. So what does that mean? That Torah leads me to be an introspective person. That Torah leads to Zihirus. On the most basic level, what Torah teaches me is that there is more to life. Torah teaches me that there are responsibilities. So we'll think about this in just a moment. We have 613 mitzvahs. What's the takeaway message from those mitzvahs? So you see, each mitzvah has its own individual message, but kind of bigadol, in a panoramic view. What's the message of the mitzvah? The message of the mitzvah is, I have responsibilities in this world. I have responsibilities. Siddha said, a lot of times in life, people approach life from the vantage point of a taker. A taker, what am I entitled to? What is magiali? What is coming to me? And says Ramchal something amazing. When you learn, you begin to understand you're not entitled to anything. Life is about the responsibilities you have. Hamevi l'deis boninos al chomer ha'avoda. I have responsibilities. I'm here ultimately again to execute those responsibilities. I'm here in order to do those things. And there is an importance to those responsibilities. And I will say, you know what happens if you don't fulfill your responsibilities? What happens? What happens? Something, right? I have responsibility to do my job. If I don't do my job, something happens. I may get fired. I may lose my paycheck. I may get censured, whatever it might be. When there are responsibilities, there are repercussions for not fulfilling those responsibilities. So also on the most basic level says Ramchal, when you learn, the greatest thing that comes out of learning is a sense of responsibility. I have responsibilities in this world. I have things to accomplish. And if I don't accomplish those things, there are repercussions for non-accomplishment. We'll say, if you think about that, that's the first step towards Zihirus. That's the first step towards living an introspective and contemplative life. The Yetzelo Zeh, min ha'iyun b'masim aksum b'sifrei HaKodesh, ומן הלימוד במאמרי חכמים זיכרונו לברכה מאורים על זה. So we'll say, so obviously, different bodies of Torah lead to this contemplation in different ways. So says Zemchal, when a person goes ahead and learns Sifrei Kodesh, a person learns the statements of Chazal, these are the things that ultimately, again, awaken us to this incredible responsibility. So we'll say, so again, so step number one that we are beginning to see, he says Ramchal, is that the first step to acquiring the midah of Zihirus is learning. A person has to learn. Why? Now again, okay, I don't think any of us are going to know. This is not. We're not going to debate this, right? We all agree. I'm going to take a vote. Learning is good. Okay. But this is actually interesting to think about. We all know learning is good. Learning is important. You ever take a step back and ask yourself, why? Why such a focus on Talmud Torah? Why such a focus on learning? So okay, so if you're a purist, so you'll say, oh, there's nothing greater than Torah Lishma. Just learning for the sake of learning. Okay, most of us are much more transactional in our approach to life. And I'll do something, but you need to tell me what's in it for me. I'm happy to do it, but I need to understand what the benefit of it is. Okay, so maybe there's reward for learning Torah. You're for the reward. Okay, there's, like anything, if you want to be successful in life, you have to understand and the intricacies of the industry you're in. You want to be a good Jew, you need to understand the industry of Yiddishkeit. How do you understand the industry of Yiddishkeit? Torah teaches you the ins and outs, the halachas, the mitzvahs. I'm saying there's something much more profound. When you learn, there is one message that comes out from every session of learning, which is, I have responsibilities. Right? I will say, we're learning some pretty interesting stuff in our shir. I don't mean this shir. I mean, this shir is also fascinating and riveting. But I mean also, like in Dafyomi, we're learning these mesechtas now of Kadshim. Right? Arachin. So think about this. Again, how does it all start? A person says, Erki alai. What happens when you see Erki alai or Erkicha alai? What happens? You pay. There's a responsibility. That's the takeaway message. I have responsibility. Sometimes it's imposed or conferred responsibility. Responsibility that Hakadosh Baruch Hu puts upon me, Chazal put upon me. Sometimes responsibility I take upon myself. But I have responsibility in this world. What does it mean if you have responsibility? It means that you have an obligation to come through. But I will say something additional. You only give responsibility to who? To who? Right? To responsible people. Right? This is Klal Gadol, right? You don't tell your 5-year-old, listen, here's the checkbook. Do me a favor. Have this balance by the time I get home today. Right? You're out of school, you got nothing going on. Balance the checkbook. Figure out the finances. Refinance the mortgage if you don't mind. Right? And just do this all in the next couple of hours. I'll bring you home a donut. Right? So again, you don't give responsibility to irresponsible people. So when I learn, I realize that I have responsibility. Right? If I have responsibility, that means HaKadosh Baruch Hu thinks I am responsible. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu thinks